There are two different types of salespeople. There are the ones that, don't know really what they're doing in sales and they're going to be living paycheck to paycheck. The other type of salesperson is knocking it out of the park and they could be earning their first million in just a few years' time. But what separates the two? Well, it turns out it's just 5 simple strategies. Yep. 5 simple strategies. And those 5 strategies, unsurprisingly, are exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. Hi, my name is Will and I make selling simple. Now in today's video, we're going to cover the 5 simple strategies that are going to allow you to become the best salesperson that you can be. First off, we're going to look at redefining your sales process. Then we're going to cultivate the right mindset for you. Then we're going to simplify, and then freaking simplify. Next, we're going to help you not fall for this major sales myth. And finally, we're going to help you follow the mentor rule. So with that, are you ready to hit it? Well, let's jump right in. Now, maybe my favorite thing about being in sales is that your earning potential is directly tied to your ability to close deals in the marketplace. If you kick ass at what you do in the market, you can very literally make millions in this career. There are numerous people inside Selling Made Simple Academy, which you can find over at salesman.org or in the link below this video, who are earning $1 million commission checks every single year and have been doing it for multiple years now. But, well, if you're not so great at sales, it can be pretty tough to make a decent living. And if you find yourself in the latter of these two camps, don't worry, all hope is not lost. There are some very simple changes that you can make to massively boost your chances of sales success. And today we're going to talk about 5 of the most important changes that you need to make that we've researched and got data on the back of, having trained over 2,000 salespeople inside Selling Made Simple Academy now. So listen up, stay tuned, and get ready to take your sales skills to the next level. So strategy number 1 might be the most important because it deals with your sales process. You've got to have a simple sales process. Do you feel overwhelmed every day? Do you feel lost? Do you feel like you're working your ass right off, but you're never really going anywhere? Well, it's probably because you don't have an effective and defined sales process. Now, I've covered what a winning sales process looks like in previous videos that will link below this one. But just as a quick overview, your sales process should look a little something like this. First off, you've got to understand your market. You're never going to get anywhere in your industry if you don't understand your buyers and how your solution solves their issues. And you've got to be able to communicate this value by honing your value proposition and tailoring it to your ideal buyer. You've also got to understand your buyer's journey, and you must also nail down the numbers. Sales is a numbers game. People don't like to hear this. People think it's an art, a skill. It's not. Sales is just numbers. And the better you are at tracking and playing those numbers in your favor, improving conversion points from one step of the funnel to the next, increasing more leads at the top of the pipeline so you get more sales out the other, the more money you're going to make. So that's the first part of the sales process. Next, you've got to be able to get in front of buyers. So let me ask you this. If I had to put you on the spot and you had to give me a list of 1 to 10 of these different methods, what methods are you using to get in touch with your prospects? Is this defined? Is this scalable? Do you know that it's effective? Or are you just throwing your outreach into the ether and hoping someone gets back to you? Because your outreach shouldn't just include cold email and cold calling. At this point in time, it should probably include some social selling on platforms like LinkedIn if your prospects are there. It should also probably include some personal branding and some light content creation to build your reputation within your industry as well. And you also need to fine-tune your sales cadence. All of these touch points put together in a sequenced, programmable, step-by-step process so that you're both reaching out to your buyers at exactly the right time that they want to make a purchase, and if your timing's slightly off, you're keeping them interested until they're ready to make that purchasing decision. So that's understanding the market. That is getting in front of buyers. The next step is explaining your value. Because even the very best outreach campaigns in the world won't do a thing if you can't effectively communicate your product's value once you've connected with the prospect. This means mastering your discovery call, delivering effective demos, upselling and closing like a pro, and knowing how to take over a competitor account, because that might make up 30 to 80% of the market share that's available to you. So you must have a defined sales process for each of those steps that I just run through. And that leads us neatly into sales strategy number 2. You must become a master implementer. Because knowing how to sell, mastering everything that I just described in that previous step, doesn't mean anything if you can't implement it? High performers, without a shadow of a doubt, every single time are master implementers. They have the skills, the mindset, and the traits needed to kill it not just today, but for weeks, months, quarters, and years, day in, day out. And if you don't cultivate these traits yourself, well, it's going to be real tough to have success long-term in sales. So with that said, are you wondering if you have the traits of sales success? Well, why not take our sales code assessment? It's linked below, it takes 5 minutes to complete, it's absolutely free, and we'll tell you verbatim whether you have 1, 2, or all 15 of the traits of high-performing salespeople. Again, it's completely free, it takes 5 minutes to complete. Click the link below this video and get your own sales code assessment results today. Now, strategy number 3 is one of my absolute favorites because it's all about maximizing your efficiency. You have to simplify everything. Why is this? Well, it's because humans are naturally drawn to the path of least resistance. But for some reason, we never apply this to our own sales process. And that means that most salespeople, 90, maybe even 95% of salespeople are working way harder than what they need to be. So instead of falling into that trap, find the 20% of your sales process, your sales activities that deliver 80% of the results. And when you understand what's working for you, cut the rest of it. Call it, get rid of it. Let me show you what I mean. So if the majority of your sales leads are coming from just one channel, double down on that channel and ignore all of the others. If 2 of your emails in your 30-day sales cadence lead to more calls booked than anything else, get rid of all the other steps, all of the other emails. The more that you simplify your process, the more that you focus on making selling simple, right? Our whole messaging, the whole point of our content, product, training, everything that we do, the more time you're going to be able to spend on closing deals, bringing in revenue, bringing in more and better prospects, and bringing home those big fat commission checks, because that's what I'm here for. That's what I want to help you achieve. Okay, well, with that rant of making selling simple over, the next strategy that I hinted at earlier on is one that addresses a major myth that continually holds sales reps back from achieving killer numbers and crushing their quotas month after month. And it's called the 20-mile march. Now, does this sound like you? Last month, you were king of the world when it comes to your numbers, but this month, you're behind. You're way behind. So you make up for this dip by hitting it hard. You're prospecting like crazy. You're sending hundreds of emails a day and you're cold calling so much that your ears are starting to hurt from the phone being pressed against your head for so long. Well, you find that each month is a new battle. The sales is a roller coaster of results and then crash and depression and ups and downs. It never seems to stop. Does that sound familiar? If so, don't worry, we've all been there and it's a terrible experience. It's not good for you, your mental health, your sales manager's mental health, or the revenue of the company that you represent. The truth of the matter here is that sales doesn't have to be like that. And for a lot of salespeople, that's a bit of a shocker. Instead, you can follow what's known as the 20-mile march concept. This concept, created by business authors Jim Collins and Morten Hansen, centers on consistency. In their book, From Good to Great, they found that the leading enterprises, the companies that perform 10 times better than their competition, valued consistency above basically anything else. And the more consistent that you can be in sales, think about it like this: prospecting every single day from 8 till 10 rather than doing one prospecting day a week, the more success that you're going to have. The secret for long-term sales success isn't innovation or creativity or flexibility, it's consistency, fanatic consistency. And if you can develop this unwavering discipline, you're going to earn 10 times more than what you thought was possible in this business. All right, now finally, there's sales success strategy number 5. I want you to keep to one mentor at a time. Now, I used to read countless books. I used to be 20% of the way through 5 different courses and have a bunch of unofficial mentors that I'd listen to on podcasts and trainings and audio CDs every single day. And what it got me was just a mess, right? No real system, a bunch of conflicting ideas, and a real headache. And of course, no real results. So instead of doing that, I want you to learn from my mistake and just stick with one mentor or trainer at a time. You don't have to do every single sales strategy at once. If you do, you're just going to end up confused. You're going to start procrastinating. You're not going to know what works and what doesn't. You're going to be exhausted. And you don't have to work with us at salesman.org, but we cater to this very specifically in our Selling Made Simple Academy training. You're going to sign up, you're going to leverage our tools, you're going to follow our step-by-step frameworks and systems, and you're going to get real, all-inclusive mentoring with me directly, all in one place. And no conflicting ideas bouncing around your head from this idea to that to this thing. The grass is always greener on the other side when you're trying to do prospecting, but the reality is if you stick to one thing, refine it, simplify it, understand what works, you're going to have way more success with that one method rather than dilly-daddling with 25 different ones. Our students love it, and you'll probably love it as well. So if you want to implement these 5 strategies that we've talked about in this video in a step-by-step linear process with mentoring from me personally and the salesman.org team, just head over to salesman.org, click the Academy button and book a call with our team, and we'll tell you if we're a good fit to work together or not. At the very least, you're going to get some great sales advice on the call with our sales strategists. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this video and got some value from it. If you did, why not click the video that's on the screen right now and continue making selling simple.